Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So, I will just present the presentation now. Thank you once again for coming here. Thank you to Maker for organizing today's event, and thank you to the team to help give out some of our business cards as well. So, Digix is a Singapore company. What we are doing is we're using blockchain technology to create digital gold. So we've been around for a few years. In March 2016, that was when we did our crowd sale for our DGD token. So that is a topic that I can share with you after this session, but for today's focus, we'll be sharing more on Digix. Digix is our go back token, which we have launched actually in April last year. And since then, we have USD $5 million worth of market cap for the Digix token as of today. So the reason why we wanted to do a digital gold token using blockchain technology is because when a retail investor wants to go and buy an investment grade gold bar, there are certain challenges and certain risks. For example, in Singapore, in 2017 actually, there were 2 or 3 instances where actually there were fake gold bars that were being transacted between individuals as well as licensed sellers. So the risk is there, even in a country like Singapore. So if in Singapore a gold bar can be faked, most likely in the world as well, that is a real risk. Another interesting thing is the idea of a disconnected information. Because there is a very mature industry for gold, there are different kinds of gold bars, different kinds of brands, and each brand actually has a different price attached to it. So as a retail investor, there's a lot of information that you need to go through first. And essentially what Digix is trying to do here is to take away all the administrative work and make it easier for retail investors and to make it easier for retail investors to buy gold. So what we have done is something called a proof of provenance process, where we are combining real-world audit and blockchain technology. So what happens here is that it's a step-by-step verification process where we work with selected precious metals dealers, vaults, as well as auditors. Basically, each step of the way, each party needs to confirm and make sure that the gold bar is real. So it's on a step-by-step process where each party will eventually provide us the physical document as well as providing a blockchain transaction to confirm that they have passed the gold bar. So based on this step-by-step verification process, we always make sure that every DGX is always backed by real gold. So we have created an easy-to-reference user interface where we make open our inventory to the public. Everything related to our physical gold bars, to every serialized gold bar. You can see the receipts, the auditor's report, as well as the confirmation date when the party sign it over to the next chain of custody. So essentially, 1 DGX equals to 1 gram of gold. So the question could then be, what is the price of 1 gram of gold? And actually the next thing is that if you buy a 1 gram gold bar from a Singapore dealer, you're actually paying 73.2 thousand Korean won. But if you buy 1 DGX, you're actually paying 54.3 thousand Korean won. And the reason for this is because if you buy a physical gold bar, the smaller the gold bar size, you're actually paying more premiums over the real price of gold. So what Digix is doing here, we're actually buying the gold upfront and transferring the cost savings to our end users. So you can see here from this very simple example, if you compare 1 DGX versus a 1 gram gold bar, you can save 20 to 30% easily. So once again, why DGX? Number 1, because it is secure. We only work with professional parties from the traditional precious metal space. We also use blockchain to make sure that the transactions are always captured and immutable. Number two, you are able to affordably acquire gold in a convenient manner. All you need to have to do is basically have an internet connection and you can get access to investment grade gold. So for Digix, we have been digitizing or tokenizing 1 kg of gold every 4 days. So every 4 days, on average, our market cap is increasing by about 45,000 USD. We have a customer base in over 65 countries, and in terms of our competitors, in terms of digital gold projects out there, all of us actually have a total inventory size of 200 kg. But Digix inventory alone is 111 kg, which makes us basically the market leader for digital gold. So what can you do with Digix? The first use case is actually to trade it. You would be familiar with some exchanges such as Bitfinex. We are also on KyberSwap. We have been on KyberSwap for more than a year now, where you can basically use gold to trade it against 20 plus other cryptocurrencies. We are also listed on Probit, which is actually a Korean exchange. The second use case is actually to invest or borrow against DGX. So the first idea is using the invest feature of our partner called Constant. So through the invest feature, you are actually able to get 10% interest rates simply by staking your DGX in their smart contracts. What Constant does is essentially they take your DGX and they re-lend it to other people, therefore generating interest rates to give it back to the lenders. The second feature is actually to borrow. So with Constant, what you can do is you can actually put your DGX into their smart contracts and take a loan of USD. This is USD either in the form of cash or in the form of stable coins at an interest rate of about 8% per annum. An 8% per annum interest rate is actually a very affordable and competitive interest rate compared to some other DeFi projects out there. And I think like what Duan mentioned earlier as well, one of the things that we're excited for is to be able to include DGX into Maker's CDP. And the last thing, of course, is to be able to spend DGX. And you would be able to do that through one of our partners, which is PundiX here, where you can spend digital gold at the various merchant stores that they have all across the world, from Korea to Singapore to Latin America as well. So after this session, if you have not already had a chance to try and get a DGX card, please proceed over to the table over there. And you also get a chance to be able to spend your DGX, about $4 worth of DGX, to buy some of our merchandise. So at Digix, we aim to basically democratize gold ownership to provide everyone with a reliable form of money in a convenient and affordable manner. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for maybe the Q&A, I suggest that we can maybe postpone it to later. So if you got any questions, please come to me directly on the side later on. Thank you.